Hello everyone, I'm Jaha Zainabu, and this is Storytime with Jaha Zainabu 26/365. So I'm going to continue reading from my novella called The NIKEL. Today we're going to start at chapter 13. Thank you for being here. The NIKEL, chapter 13. Davis's art exhibit was at a gallery downtown called Soul Folks, and the place was packed. V. Kali's locks hung down past her knees and almost hid her face as she adjusted the microphone to begin her poetry set. As she performed, people sat and stood quietly around and listened. Life was observing the art on the walls when Aubrey spotted him and handed him a glass of wine. "You following me?" Life shook his head and answered, "No, but only because I don't think I could keep up. Besides, I thought I was invited." Well, I told you when and where and what time and said that if you weren't doing anything, then maybe stop by or something like that, but..." She shrugged her shoulders and smiled. If you take that as an invitation, then, well, whatever, you're here now. "Shut up, you want me here." Life smiled and looked good in his black cotton suit with his usual loud jewelry. As they laughed and talked, Afua was in the background and saw Life take Aubrey's hand. Aubrey knew she was going to hear about that later from Afua. But that would be later. Aubrey was determined to savor that moment with Life. They stared into each other's eyes for a while and then moved in closer to kiss, but she pulled back when she saw Afua still staring at them. The music and poetry suddenly ended. She and Life went in separate directions, and a few minutes later Aubrey turned around and saw Ahmad and Jewel approaching her. "Hey, love." "Oh, wow, it looks good in here," Ahmad said to Aubrey. "I thought you were going to be at the shop all day today." "I was, but something came up. Listen, I need Jewel to be here with you today. She can just stay tonight, okay?" Jewel looked at the paintings on the walls. Aubrey saw Life in the background talking to Davis and wanted to get Ahmad out of there fast. Okay, sure." Ahmad was in a hurry and left. He had roses for Davis. "Girl, everyone is here tonight," Davis said as she approached Ahmad and Aubrey. "Can you believe it? Did you see? Hey, I think Ahmad has roses for you, Davis." "Your favorite." Aubrey snatched the flowers from Ahmad and handed them to Davis. "Oh, thanks." "Oh, you're welcome, honey. Everything looks so great. I'm so proud of you. I'm so sorry I can't stay, though." "What do you mean you can't stay?" Dob said as he patted Ahmad on the back. "Well, look who's here." Ahmad turned to shake hands with Dob. He pulled him close and whispered in his ear, "Oh, you weren't playing, huh?" "Not at all, my brother," Dob whispered back. Ahmad leaned in and gave Davis a kiss on the cheek. "I got some business to take care of. I gotta get out." After he kissed Aubrey, he rushed out. Dob bent down to pick up Jewel and walked away with her. What was that about? "Anyway, girl, Life is here," Davis said. "Who?" Chapter 14. A few days after the art exhibit, Aubrey was driving home to meet a client for a fitting. The traffic on the 110 was tight, and she didn't want to have her client waiting outside of the house, so she called Davis. "Hey girl, I'm glad you answered the phone." Yeah, I'm okay." "No, a client of mine and her husband are meeting me at the house for a fitting. I may be a few minutes late. Did you get Jewel already?" "Oh, great, thanks." "Who? What's he doing there?" "Yeah, let me speak to him." "Hey, honey, what's up?" Aubrey didn't remember setting a lunch date with Ahmad and wondered if he made that up. He had accused her a few times in the past week about being distant. He didn't push it because her distance was somewhat of a relief, because she wasn't standing over him asking about every move he made and frowning every time he was on the phone with Malik. Still, to Ahmad, his distance was okay, but hers was suspicious. I'm really sorry, honey. I just got tied up. I know I should have called. Listen, I'll cook dinner for you tonight when my client leaves. Can you stay? Well, come over as soon as you're done with racquetball. I owe you, baby. She was glad the vibe was good between them for the moment. Love you too. Dob and Ahmad were playing racquetball when he asked, Man, what's up with your game today? Stuff on my mind, Ahmad responded. Well, that's what the game is supposed to do, man. Clear your head, Dob said as he continued playing and beating Ahmad. Here you go. Ahmad hit the rubber ball hard, and it bounced and whizzed past Dob's head. Take that. Don't worry about what's up with my game. Check yourself. Dob could tell that Ahmad was only partially joking. They played the rest of the game hard and in silence, except for the grunts that followed each swing. As they got into Ahmad's car, Dob was on the phone. Yeah, sounds great. Will you repeat the address, please? Okay, thank you. You have a good day. Dob ended the call and put his phone in his bag. Hey, you got a pen in here? He immediately opened the glove compartment without waiting for an answer. As he opened it, a stack of envelopes almost fell out. Ahmad caught the stack and quickly closed the compartment. Dob stared at his friend with a strange look. I don't have a pen, man, Ahmad yelled. Hey, what's up with you? Oh, man, like I said, just stuff on my mind. I'm cool, though. There was a moment of silence. So, how's the missus? Asked Dob. She all right. Ain't got much time for her brother these days, though. She's designing Osset Rochelle's dress for the Image Awards. And everybody else's, it seems. What? Tell her I said congratulations. So I guess I don't need to ask if you're ready for the big day yourself. Yeah, but I'm not the one you need to ask. Oh, what? Aubrey getting cold feet? I don't know what she's getting. It seems like every time we're getting together, her head is someplace else. And the wedding is the worst topic of all to bring up. I thought by now she'd be so excited I wouldn't be able to shut her up about flowers, invitations, food, and all that. I know the designs of her next 6 clients, but she hasn't even said what color she wants to wear for ours. So where are you with it? Are you sure? I love her, man. I guess I shouldn't be so hard on her because I haven't been Mr. Prince Charming myself lately. Well, what's up with that? Flowers and food ain't what's on your mind. No, not at all. Then what? Well, I've been working on a business venture that should make our financial life pretty comfortable. And I haven't really been as emotionally there for her as she's used to, but I just need her to be patient, Everything I do, I'm doing for her and Jewel. I'm trying to show her that I love her by putting myself in a position where she can be comfortable. So this business venture, is this something you're keeping a secret from her? Ahmad tried to brush him off. Not really secret, just, where I'm working stuff out. And the details, they don't really concern her right now. Man, are you listening to yourself right now? You've only said a few sentences to me, and I can tell something shady is going on. You think she can't pick up on that too? Let me ask you, does this have anything to do with Malik? We're working on a little something. Why you all on my shit, man? You worse than Aubrey right now. I ain't trying to get in your shit. I'm just a friend on the outside looking in. And I could tell when I saw you at the gallery something was up. Every time I have ever seen Malik, he has that look, that shady look, like the one you have right now. You tripping. What shady look? That look that has always let me know that something is just not right with that brother. I can feel it, and I'm sure Aubrey can feel it too. Look, man, that's your woman. Do you really love her or what? Of course I do. I never felt this way about any other woman. She's good to me and great with Jewel. After Jewel's mom passed, I didn't know what I was going to do. It took some time, but I finally got into the rhythm of Jewel and me, and I convinced myself that it would be that way forever. And then I met Aubrey. She took one look at Jewel and fell in love. I think she felt sorry for her and related to her because her own mom had passed. Okay, you talk a lot about how you appreciate Aubrey and Jewel's life, but that doesn't say what she is to you. Would you feel the same about her if Jewel wasn't in the picture? What you saying? That I'm using Aubrey because I need someone for Jewel? I'm saying that if you don't communicate with Aubrey, and if you are distant with her because of some new business venture you have going on with Malik, then she might feel that way. Ahmad dropped Dob off at home and headed for Aubrey's. Even though she missed lunch, he felt good about the vibe between them earlier. Maybe tonight would be one of those long overdue easy-going nights. He called to check things out. Hey, you. I'll be there shortly. You finished with your meeting? When he arrived, the door was open and he walked in. There was a couple there that was about to get married. She held the dress as they stood in the den and talked. Ahmad, come in and let me introduce you. Ahmad walked into the room with Aubrey. This is Ahmad Jenkins. Ahmad, this is soon to be Mr. and Mrs. Allen Hicks. Pleased to meet you both. Ahmad shook their hands. They all talked just a bit longer, and then Ahmad and Aubrey walked them out to their car and watched them drive off. I didn't expect the meeting to go so late, babe. I'll get dinner started right now. It won't take long. Tell you what. Let me go check on Jewel, and I'll come down and make dinner myself for everyone. David staying in? Okay. No, I don't think so. She said she was meeting Dob later. He didn't even say anything to me about it. We were just playing ball together. Was he supposed to say something to you? Besides, you know, man on a mission, Dob. I'm surprised Davis is letting things go so fast. When they were together before, all she talked about was that he was always too busy for her and didn't pay her any attention. I think he was just focused on trying to get the school up and running. Maybe he regrets letting her get away before and doesn't want that to happen again. Anyway, why are we still talking about them, hungry as I am? Tell Jewel I'll be up in a minute. I'm going to get dinner started first. Baby, are you sure? Because I don't mind. Aubrey wondered where the offer was coming from, but she had to admit it was a welcome change from all the fighting. I got it. But before I do, come here. I want to tell you something. He took her hand and led her into the den. He sat on the lazy board and set her on his lap. What are you doing? Who are you? She sat on his lap, and he put his finger up to his mouth and motioned with his hand for her to just be still. He got up from the chair and left the room quickly and ran upstairs to check on Jewel in her room. She had finished her homework and had fallen asleep watching The Cosby Show on the TV Land channel. When he came out of Jewel's room, Aubrey was standing in the hallway in front of her room and motioned for him to come in. He took her and led her to the front of the dresser in front of the mirror. He took the white cotton scarf off of her head and watched her long locks fall below her waist. He stood behind her and untied her shirt at the back, squeezed her breast, and pulled the tie behind her neck loose with his teeth. Aubrey started to say something, but he turned her around to kiss her before she could. He was not going to let the moment be spoiled with something she might say. I was only going to say that I miss you, she said. He turned her back around gently and put his face next to hers and admired how well they looked in the mirror. We're beautiful. She responded with a moan, feeling him getting harder behind her thighs. He gripped her waist tighter and pulled her to him. Her eyes went somewhere in the back of her head while she reached inside of her skirt, rubbed her thighs, then gently spread her legs with his fists. Chapter 15. Sandra knew it. She knew something was off, but didn't think she was pregnant. They had always been so careful. How was she going to tell Life? Was she going to tell him was the real question. She could just hear his boys laughing about how she trapped him. She knew what they thought of her. Bigger than his boys' opinion of her was how she was going to survive 8 days at sea when she was already queasy on land. She finally started seriously looking for a place to open the restaurant. She finally got serious about cleaning up her department so that she wouldn't feel so bad when she left. And now she was pregnant? How could she just leave? Start a new business? Sandra incessantly talked to herself the whole day. She asked all sorts of questions. Where she would get insurance? From the baby's father, stupid, she finally said out loud. From Life. I'm not the only one having a baby here. But she was for now because she wasn't ready to say anything, especially with how strange she had been acting. Did he know? She got in the car and called River. Hey, lady, you busy? I'm not far from you. Want to meet me at Simply Wholesome? Veggie burger on me? Great. See you in a minute. No, I'm just a block away. She knew River would know something was up, but she thought River would think that Sandra was just announcing her engagement and to tell her that she was the maid of honor or something. What would they do? Would she and Life get married? No. A wedding? That seemed so far away from reality with the way they had been getting along lately. Life must have thought she was a fool or something. She didn't know if it was another woman or what it was, but they had to get to the bottom of it before the cruise. She was not giving up her little secret until she knew what he was hiding. Chapter 16. Ahmad sat at the kitchen table in his apartment as he thought and drank a beer. The lights were very dim as he replayed a phone message from Aubrey. Ahmad, I miss you. I miss us. I miss us being consistent. One day good, one day not. I mean, I love you, but not like this. I feel so far from you. It's not just you, okay? This hot and cold and hot and cold again we keep doing, it's just making me dizzy. We need to talk, okay? I can't stand it. 1 minute is so good, baby. And then the very next, I don't even know. Anyway, Jula's with Davis at a baby shower. They may be out late, so I'll bring her up in the morning if you want me to. Or she can just stay. Ahmad, I do love you, okay? I know something is wrong, and I'm kind of scared. Call me, okay? He threw the phone and watched it hit the wall. Watched the battery separate itself from the receiver, ricochet off the wall, and find rest somewhere under the couch. Ahmad was in no hurry to mend the phone, no hurry to call Aubrey. He sat there at his table and drank his beer and remembered that his father used to tell him to control what he could control. He was tired of her mood swings, tired of trying to make it work, tired of dodging her questions about him and Malik. What difference did it make anyway? She would benefit. He wasn't cheating. He wasn't abusing her. He was more than just not abusing her. Hell, he loved her. He thought to himself, I'm good to her. I'm fucking good to her. I give her everything I have. If she wants more, if she ain't satisfied, then she can just go get what she wants from someplace else. Fuck it. I can't do this shit no more. Chapter 17. Life and Sandra laid in the bed together and stared at the ceiling. Sade sang and the sage burned, and Sandra tried to find a way to tell him. She walked to the ledge and swore she would jump in. Just say it, she said to herself, 1 foot in front of the other. But then nothing. I love you, baby. And then to herself, she said, and I'm pregnant. And of course you're the father. And don't think I'm trying to pressure you into marrying me or anything like that. I just thought I should tell you. And I wasn't even going to do that. So you better be glad. And I'm going to quit my job. And I am going to open that restaurant that I've been dreaming about since forever ago. Yes, life. Yes, I have dreams too. My whole life isn't just me supporting you and your career. Is that what you thought? Well, you were wrong, buddy. And don't you think for 1 minute you're just going to leave me and not support your baby. You hear me? Do you? I love you too. Look, I don't know what's going on in life, but I know that something is. We got to get this settled before we go on this cruise, okay? I'm not going to be in a cabin with you for 8 days pretending that everything is cool while we're out. And then we're staring at the ceiling at night. Please say something stupid so that I can just get mad and say I'm not going on this cruise, she thought. How am I going to hide this from you? How am I going to hide this and all that time being so close to you? Just come out and say whatever it is you're hiding from me, and I can just tell you what's going on. I just don't want to look like a fool here. Good night, Sandra. Sandra knew she was being a hypocrite. She knew she was 5 weeks pregnant and was seriously considering having an abortion. And she gave him the come clean speech. 4 days after she found out she was pregnant, River and Sandra were parked in the parking lot of the abortion clinic. River was about to get out of the car. No, I want to do this alone. Sandra, you don't know what you're saying. Yes, I do. I'll call you when it's over. Are you sure? Sandra walked into the clinic by herself. Not at all what she expected. It looked like a regular hospital waiting room. Some of the women looked like her. She expected the welfare scene she saw in bad movies. This isn't going to be so bad, she thought. She tried to convince herself. She couldn't help but think about life and that he should at least know. It's bad enough having an abortion, but to do it behind the father's back, that takes it to another level. No. I'm not telling him. I'm not going to go ahead with this. Shit, or am I? I'm going to go ahead with this. I am. I'm going to go ahead with this, and if we work things out, we can get married and have a baby in the future. Good morning, she said to the young woman who sat next to her. She looked about 25. She had on a black jogging suit and her hair pulled back in a short ponytail. Sandra wondered what her story was. Did the father of her child at least know? Was he waiting in the car for her? Was he at work sitting on pins and needles waiting for her to call? She wanted to ask her if he knew. Of course he knew. She was the only crazy person who would do something like this and not tell the father. Just her. Why? Why am I doing it? Life isn't a bad guy. He loves me. Why not at least tell him? Then Kennard popped into her head. Kennard Stanton. She hadn't thought about him in years. He was her high school sweetheart, and she loved him. Kennard was the captain of the football team when they were seniors. She remembered how his teammates teased Kennard and told him that she was going to trap him and have a baby before he went pro. She didn't pay them that much attention. Then she went with him to his family reunion, and his mom, aunts, and cousins were so nice to her. Then Kennard went to play basketball with his cousins, and his girl cousins kept giving him a mean look and said that she could tell that Sandra was one of those light-skinned bitches who just wanted her cousin for what she could get, and that she wanted him because he was about to be a football star, and that they would kick her ass if she even thought about getting pregnant to trap him. Trap him, she thought. She had never thought about it before. Is that what people thought of her? That she wasn't good enough to make it in life without a man to take care of her? That she needed to trap somebody? She was so determined to show them and the rest of the world that she didn't need anybody. She broke up with Kennard the next week. She told him that they had gotten too serious and that she needed to focus on her studies because she was going to be somebody. And that broke his heart. Hers too. All because she listened to what other people said about her. And here she was doing it again. She was so nervous, she hoped she wouldn't start talking so much she couldn't stop. Good morning to you too, the woman responded, as if they were in a coffee shop and needed to share a table. Kinda scary, huh? Sandra asked. I guess. You'll be okay. You picked a good day. What? I mean, it's not so crowded. Usually, that whole side over there is filled up by now. Oh, maybe this was as bad as she thought. Chapter 18. Life was at the studio about to shoot a beer commercial. The production assistant had just given him the 5-minute signal, and the makeup artist was finished with his makeup. What am I doing? Everything I promised myself I wouldn't, that's what I'm doing. He got out of the chair, hopped onto the computer, and sat at the table across from the food trays and composed a message for Aubrey. Madam Aubrey, I have really been dealing with a lot of frustrating issues lately, and I just wanted to say that communicating with you has really helped me see things more clearly. Thank you so much for being a good friend. Chapter 19. Sandra got into the car with River, crying, but not too obviously. That was fast, River said. It didn't seem fast to me. You want to go home? No. They drove around for almost an hour without saying anything, and finally Sandra asked River to take her home. That night she was in the kitchen making a salad, and Life came downstairs, dressed to leave. Hey baby, I'm going down to the club. Okay, just let me finish up here and I'll be right there. She wanted to tell him what she had been through that day. Couldn't he tell? Weren't they connected enough for him to just be able to look at her and tell that that was one of the scariest days of her entire life? And here he was talking about going down to the NIKEL instead of holding her. She wanted him to hold her and tell her everything was going to be okay. She wanted him to tell her that he had just been stressed the past few weeks and she had nothing to worry about. She wanted him to tell her to stop being silly and kiss him and hold him. But lately it seemed like he hadn't even wanted to touch her. I didn't say I wanted us to go. I said I was going. Can't I have my own space sometimes? Life, if you don't want me to go with you, I won't go. Where's all this hostility coming from? I don't know what's been going on with you the past few weeks, but if you want to leave, then leave. You don't have to start a fight with me to get out of the house alone. What kind of shit is that to say to me? I ain't playing no games to get out of my own house. Who are you screaming at? I don't need this, Sandra. Life walked out of the house and slammed the door as she threw the salad she was making into the sink. He got into his car and closed the door. He started the engine, then turned it off and started to go back inside, and then changed his mind. Chapter 20. Aubrey was checking her email at Ahmad's desk and didn't know that he was standing right behind her. He watched her read the message, watched her smile halfway, and he wished the smile was for him. He used to make her happy. She used to smile for him. Not these days. Not these days, though. These days, he got messages suggesting that they talk. So, how much of a friend have you been to Life? What are you doing sneaking up behind me? This is my office. It's not like that, it's not like that. It's not like that, Ahmad. I was talking to him at this little party I went to with Willow, and he was telling me about some problems he was having with his manager and the record label and just stuff like that. Well, how come you never mentioned it? What was there to mention? You know what? I don't know, Aubrey. I don't know what's going on with you at all. This isn't even about your friendship with life. This is about us. What's up? I thought you wanted your space, so I've been giving it to you. Then you leave me a message saying that you love me, but we need to talk. But then we never do. I'm tired of waiting for you to open up to me. Aubrey, I don't want to hold you back. If you need to move on, then yeah, it would be difficult for me. But I could release you if you asked me to. But you got to ask, baby, because I'm not going to just let you go. But let me know something. Don't just leave me in the dark like this. Oh, like you're leaving me in the dark about whatever you got going on with Malik? Listen, yeah. Malik and I are trying to work out a business venture. That's true. And I know you don't like Malik, but you don't have to like him. I'm doing this for us, baby. No, I haven't told you everything, but I need more time. But whatever is going on with Malik and me has nothing to do with us. It's not some other woman. It's not that I don't love you. I'm not ready to tell you everything yet. I need some time. I know that's hard to hear, but it's the truth. It's as much of the truth as I can give you right now. Ahmad sat in the chair across from her and moved into her and held her face in his hands. He kissed her face. I'm sorry, honey. I do love you, though. I love you so much. Aubrey cried and got up and hugged him. He unlocked her arms from around his neck, and she sat back in the chair and cried harder, harder than he had ever seen her cry. What's all this about? He asked. She grabbed her bag and ran out of the shop. A few minutes later, Danielle came into the office. Yo, what's wrong with Aubrey? She asked. She ran right past me like she didn't even see me. Danielle, I have something I need to take care of. Can you take the deposit to the bank today? Yeah, I can do it, Ahmad. But I asked you a question. Oh, Aubrey's fine, just crazy is all. Okay. But, crazy make you throw up like that? What? Yeah, I was dumping the trash in the back and she ran past me and threw up all over the bags out there. I asked her if I could help and she just sped away from me. Oh, man. Chapter 21. So how's your mom? Aubrey asked Life as they sat at the small table in the diner. She's fine. She and my sister are moving in with my brother and his wife. Dad's going to be in the hospital for a little while longer, but he's doing okay. They followed a waitress to their seat. And your niece? Much better. She's home and already running things. Kids. How old is she again? Just turned 6. Oh, that's such a precious stage. He reached across the table to hold her hand. When he told her he missed her, she nervously pulled her hand away and picked up the menu. I thought about you so much, it's crazy, he said. Yeah, that is crazy, she responded. Listen, something happened while you were gone. I was in Ahmad's office checking my messages, and he was standing behind me while I was reading the message you sent to me. Okay. And what happened? I mean, he asked me how close we were, and I told him that we talked at that party I went to with Willow, and I told him that we talk from time to time as friends, and basically that's it. Okay, so you lied. What are you talking about? Aubrey, stop playing dumb, okay? You know what I'm talking about. The couple next to them turned around because of his sudden outburst. Aubrey looked around as the waitress brought their drinks. "Thank you. Would you give us a few minutes, please?" Aubrey asked and turned to Life. "Keep your voice down." Life slapped the water away and knocked the glasses over onto the floor and got up and walked out of the restaurant. She looked around and went after Life. He stood outside of the door waiting for her. "Look, Aubrey, I'm sorry if I scared you, but I don't apologize for what I said. I know what it's like to pretend to be something for so long that when you're ready to tell yourself the truth, you can't, because you've lived a lie for so long you don't even know what the truth is anymore. I know what it's like to be someone you're not, because you think that's who everyone expects you to be, because you think that's who they like better. Don't live a lie, Aubrey. Your greatest power is being who you are. Forget what everybody says about right and wrong. Be you, baby." That night, Aubrey busily worked at her design table while she listened to music and had a cup of tea next to her. She was really tired and began to fall asleep when she heard the doorbell. She picked up the telephone next to her. She heard the doorbell again and realized it wasn't the phone. "Go away," she said softly. It was Afua at the door. "Hey, Queen, you in there, sis?" Aubrey walked to the door slowly, and again in a soft, sleepy voice, "I'm coming, I'm coming." She opened the door and saw Afua dressed in her African attire. Afua spoke loudly and smiled. She walked straight past Aubrey as Aubrey rubbed her eyes. "What time is it?" "Girl, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. What are you doing sleeping?" Afua looked at the paintings on the walls. Aubrey sat down on the couch and turned the television on and flipped through the channels. Afua stood in front of one of the paintings. "Davis do this?" Aubrey was still flipping through the channels. "Mm-hmm. That sister ain't no joke. This wasn't at the show, was it?" "What's going on, Afua?" "Queen, we need to talk." Afua turned to Aubrey and walked toward her. Aubrey looked up at the ceiling. "I ain't trying to get all up in your business or nothing like that, but when I see you going down the wrong path, I just got to step in and say something." "What is this about?" "I think you're kind of weak right now, and it is very common. Look, I know something is going on between you and that fellow I saw you with at the exhibit. He was holding your hand and all in your face, and then I saw him trying to kiss you, and you were going to let him? Queen, that was not cool for you to be cheating on your man like that." Cheating on my man? All you saw was him try to kiss me. And you know what, Afua? I did kiss him." Aubrey thought about that kiss and remembered that Jewel saw her kiss Life. Jewel asked her about it, and Aubrey said that it was a friendly kiss, like the way you kiss at church. Aubrey knew that Jewel knew better. She also knew that if she said anything to Jewel about keeping it a secret, it would only make matters worse. "I mean, well, what constitutes cheating these days? I know you aren't saying that you only draw the line at intercourse. What if Ahmad did that to you?" "I didn't do anything to Ahmad." "Well, what exactly is your relationship with this brother?" "Afua, I'm trying to respect our friendship, but you're going way over the line with this." "What? What are you getting all bent out of shape about me just trying to talk to you? I'm just trying to help you stay on the right path. I've known you since you were a little girl, and I've noticed a few things over the past few years that I do have concerns about. Things that I know your mother would have concerns about." "Are you serious?" "Oh, I'm very serious." "You know what? Okay, what is it? What is it? What do you have so many concerns about? Let's get this out of the way so that we can move on." Aubrey abruptly turned the television off and turned to Afua, who sat across from her. Aubrey knew that sooner or later this day would come with Afua. Well, your lifestyle, for one. I mean, I was really glad when you told me that you and Ahmad were engaged, because it was just bothering me so much seeing the two of you live in sin and be such a bad influence on that baby. Okay, well, we're getting married now. Is there anything else? Okay. Since you asked, do you intend to stop working or change your profession or lessen your hours when you get married? Of course not. Why would I do that? I must be in some pre-wedding twilight zone or something. I've spent years getting where I am in my field. Why would I stop just because I'm married? Look at the long hours you both work. Who is going to be home to raise Jewel? You know, Afua, I've held my tongue over the past few years also. And I've watched you judge everyone from the drug dealer to the Pope. You are so hard on everyone. It's difficult for anyone to be around you, me included. And what makes all of your judging so bad is that your own sins somehow escape your judgment. You are so worried about how we're going to raise her. Where's your child? Where's your child, Queen? Huh? Don't you do it, Afua warned. Yeah, she's not here because you had an abortion, because the child's father left you. The child's father whom you were not even married to. And what are we doing for employment? What are you doing for employment to pay me back the $2,000 you borrowed from me 11 months ago? I don't believe you coming over here with this. Aubrey knew that she was pushing it with Afua, but she had it coming. She would keep reminding herself that she had it coming. Besides, it all fell out so fast before she could hardly hold it in anymore. Afua cried, then stood up, walked over to Aubrey and slapped her on the face. You need to watch your mouth. And you need to stop parading around town with all that love, peace, and sage gear on like you're all earthy and righteous and beyond mistakes, Carolyn. Aubrey, you know, I'm just really upset right now, and I don't feel well right now, and I just want you to please leave me alone, Afua. Not like this. No, just like this. Please go, please. I'm trying to be respectful to you out of your friendship with my mother, but I refuse to do this with you anymore. Go, Afua. Afua turned toward the door, and Aubrey turned toward the den in the opposite direction. Chapter 22. There was a costume party at the NIKEL, and the club was even more crowded than usual. There were ghosts and goblins, pimps and prostitutes, men dressed as babies and women as men. Inside of the say, Essence was a sexy Mrs. Claus and was on stage keeping the crowd rolling with laughter. People were having a good time on all of the floors of the NIKEL. On the third floor, there was a large balcony that overlooked the city, and Life stood outside when Hannibal walked up behind him. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Life reached out to shake Hannibal's hand. What's up, Ball? Hannibal smiled and made a large circle in the air with his cane very slowly. They stared off the balcony onto the city lights. Life is exactly how you see it. You focus on the stress and the pressures, and that's what you pull to you. Well, I think I need to do some refocusing and work on my vision, Life said. Come ride with me, young blood. They walked down the stairs into the back parking lot where Hannibal's limo was parked. When they got to the car, a tall, bald Asian woman with an eye patch got out to open the door for them. Young blood, this is Saba. Saba, meet Life. Saba turned around slowly and gave Life a hard, cold stare. She said a chant slowly in Chinese and locked the doors. He looked at the lock and was scared. He looked again at Saba as she turned back around and began to drive off. Hannibal looked at Life holding the door handle. "She likes you," Hannibal said. The limo's back plates read 5 cents. Hannibal poured 2 glasses of champagne and gave Life one and held the other for himself. Life began to drink as Hannibal spoke. "I came out here from Mississippi when I was 19 years old. I've always been a smart man, even though I couldn't read or write very well. I was staying with this woman, Gloria. Things went bad for us, and I found myself without a place to stay, so I was on the street for a while. One day, I was begging for change in front of a burger stand, and I walked up to a man, and I asked if he could spare a dime or a nickel. That was such a low period in my life. I never thought I would stoop to begging for money on the street, but there I was. He reached in his pocket and handed me a nickel and just stared at me. I said thank you, but he just kept staring. 'Young blood, what you gonna do with that nickel?' he asked me. 'You can't get a place to stay. You can't buy anything to eat. What are you gonna do with a nickel?' I just stood there, ashamed of myself. Then he asked me something I'll never forget. He asked me if I was ready to let it all go and live the life I came to live. 'That's heavy,' Life said. 'A lot heavier than the nickel I was asking for.' 'What was his name?' 'His name was Mob McClintock's. He was into real estate and owned a bunch of property downtown. At that time, not many black folks owned property in areas that he did, and I didn't know any black folks that had the kind of money he did. But it wasn't just the money. There was something special about him. From the inside, he took me in. I did odd handyman jobs for him. I collected rent from some of his tenants. He also owned an art gallery. I spent a lot of time down there. After hours, it was a hangout for the local artists, actors, dancers, poets, and comedians. They were some of the most incredible folks I'd ever met. I was amazed at their determination to their crafts, and none of them were making any money, but I always felt that they could if they had the right opportunities. Wow, what happened to him? I came home from the gallery one night, and he was sitting in his chair in the living room, almost as if he was waiting for me. He had such a peaceful expression on his face. He called me over to him, handed me a nickel. This one. Hannibal pulled out a nickel on his chain from around his neck in his shirt and showed it to Life. He told me to pass it on, and then he closed his eyes and left. He was like an angel sent by God to guide me. Saba pulled the limo into the driveway of Hannibal's house. She got out and opened the door for Hannibal. Life moved over to get on the same side, but when he got out, she placed a long sword across his chest and put her face very close to his and repeated the same Chinese chant. He pushed past her. Crazy voodoo chick? He noticed that Hannibal was already in the house and ran after him. When he got in, he noticed that there were many beautiful women in the house. He followed Hannibal up the stairs to a room. Hannibal pulled open the door, and a very, very beautiful black woman in her late 50s was there. She looked like a dancer. She had long gray locks and sat on the floor near the window, dressed in a flowing cotton white dress. She smiled when she saw Hannibal. "Beloved," she said peacefully. "Beloved?" Hannibal responded in the same tone. Hannibal helped her stand, and he bent to his knees, and he kissed her forehead and stepped into the bathroom adjacent to the room. He quickly returned with a large bowl of water and placed it on the floor. As she sat, he stared As she said, he stared at Hannibal. As she stared at Hannibal as he washed and kissed her feet. Life had never seen him like that. "Please meet Life," Hannibal said. Olivia stared at Life for a long moment, silently, with a peaceful expression on her face. She took her hand and closed her eyes and inhaled deeply. After she exhaled, she looked at his palm. "Life," Olivia said. "Young blood, this is my wife." "Pleased to meet you, ma'am." "I'm pleased to meet you, Life." Olivia folded her rug that she sat on and left the room. Hannibal lovingly watched her as she closed the door behind her. "You two must share something really special," Life asked. Hannibal smiled. "How long have you known each other?" "We've always known each other," Hannibal said. "Okay." Hannibal sat behind his desk and pulled a cigar from the box and put it in his mouth. Life pulled out a lighter from his pocket and attempted to light the cigar. Hannibal held his hand up and refused the light. "Sit down." He sat in the chair in front of the desk. "Now what's going on, young blood?" "I'm just trying to make some sense of my life right now." "What's so confusing about it?" "I'm in a space, just a space where I feel like everything I thought I knew, I'm finding out that I don't. And the things and the people that I thought would make me happy, they aren't. I'm questioning my motives and the motives of people just yesterday I would have shared everything with. And now I'm unsure about where my career is, or if it will even exist for me in a year or two. There's a void in my life, and I keep trying to fill it with who and what I have. And of course, the more I try, the stronger the pain gets. It's like I'm missing the most essential vitamin from my diet, and I'm sick because of it. And I would take the vitamin, only I don't know what it is or where to get it. But I know if I don't take it soon, I'm not going to survive." Hannibal looked at him for a moment and then spoke. A young man was walking along a path and approached an older man. The youngster asked for food. The older man led him to the river and instructed him to follow him into the water. He put the youngster's head under the water and held it there. Of course, he began to struggle for air. He fought and fought until he could free himself from bondage. "See?" "See what?" Life asked. The youngster freed himself from bondage and was able to breathe. But he freed himself because he wanted to live. That's how much you have to want to live. To be freed from what it is holding you back, you have to want it as if your life depended on it, because it does. "See?" Life sat in the chair and stared off into space. Olivia tapped on the door, then entered with a platter of fruit and tea. She served them tea, and Hannibal invited her to sit with them. She sat next to Hannibal, and they looked lovingly at Life as he stared out of the window. Chapter 23. Aubrey was ill in Ahmad's apartment, in the bedroom, trying to get some sleep. Jewel was in her room with the television turned up loud. As she sang and danced, she chanted a little girl's jump rope song over and over. The room was a mess with Jewel's toys and clothes all over the place. She screamed as she raced to the living room to greet Ahmad. "Daddy! Daddy!" "Hello, Angel." He entered the room carrying Jewel. "Party over here? What's up over there?" Ahmad noticed how sick Aubrey was and put Jewel down. Jewel skipped out of the room with her doll. Oh, baby, you still sick? Ahmad, I've been calling you all day. Why didn't you call back? Oh, the battery in my phone was dead. Yeah, okay, your battery is dead and I'm stupid, Ahmad. What's up? What do you think is up? I'm sick as a dog and Jewel is driving me crazy is up. I have a meeting tomorrow that I'm still not prepared for. I need to get some rest, Ahmad. I'm too sick to add pissed off with you to that. You're here now. Would you please just turn the TV off so I can sleep? Ahmad turned off the TV and Aubrey started to fall asleep when he came back in the room. Whew. Jewel is finally in the bed. She should be fine now. What did you give her to make her so hyper in the first place? Aubrey lifted her head from the covers. I have to leave for just a few to take care of some business with Malik. I'll be back soon. Ahmad bent to kiss Aubrey. When his lips got to her head, she turned around to face him. She put her hands in his face and pushed him away. What do you mean you're leaving? Look at me. Look at this place. Jewel isn't even almost asleep, and I haven't had any rest all day. Look, I have to take care of this. I won't be gone long, I promise. Your promises don't mean anything to me. I don't know what all the secret meetings are between you two, but I know it's not right. What's going on? And I don't want to hear again about what you can't tell me. It does concern me. And if it doesn't now, it will later. Ahmad sighed hard. You know, Ahmad, I'm getting real sick of you taking me for granted. Just go and be with your man, okay? Look, everything I do for you and Jewel, but you won't stop complaining long enough to see that. You're being very insensitive right now. I'm sick, and you knew I was sick when you left. What is it that's so important that you have to leave me right now? The front door slammed, and Jewel yelled from her room screaming for juice. The next day at Aubrey's house, Willow was there as Aubrey dressed and gathered materials in her portfolio and briefcase to go to her meeting. No, you knew that you were sick when you let him leave. Stop blaming him for everything and start taking some responsibility for your part in the drama. Did it ever occur to you to just say no? To get your keys and go home? Not today, Willow, not today. No, I'm not being your friend by letting you do this to yourself. Let's calm down for a minute and not let this get out of hand, okay? Aubrey, this is me, Willow, your best friend since forever. Give me some credit. You think I don't know you? Look, let me share something with you. You're not going to like it, but listen anyway. Every relationship is 50-50 or it wouldn't exist. You are getting exactly what you are giving, and you are getting what you are getting because it's what you want. Willow, please don't. I cannot take it. Look. Ahmad is really possessive and needs to have everything his way, and he gets that in this relationship. And for some reason, something inside of you wants to be the victim. So you get to say, look what he did to me. Look at everything I do. Look at all the sacrifices I make, and look what I get. Poor me. Aubrey was really angry with her. She stopped gathering materials and closed her briefcase loudly and told her to get out. Okay, I'll leave. But as your friend, it is my job to let you know what's going on. Get out right now, Willow. She threw a spool of thread at her as she walked out. I'm not trying to take any of your drama personal, but you are pushing it, Aubrey. Willow walked out, and Aubrey sat alone at her desk table. She pushed everything off the table. Aubrey sat in a long, comfortable cotton dress at her mother's grave. I don't know, Ma. Everything is so confusing these days. I wish you were here to tell me what to do. And I know that's funny because I used to hate for you to tell me what to do. I thought I knew everything. And now I know that I don't know nothing. That I don't know anything. She ran her fingers across the headstone. Chapter 24. Life and Sandra were having drinks on the floor in front of the fireplace. Something's going on with you. And before we go on an 8-day cruise, I want to get it cleared up, or I'm staying here. Life knew it was time to come clean about everything. Is it somebody else, Life? He knew she would ask that. No. But, okay. But there's no way to say this straight without looking like a jerk or hurting anyone. Sandra, I really love you. Okay, then answer my question. I will answer your question. I just need you to let me say what I have to say at my own pace, baby, please. Go ahead. Well, you are the woman that I love. I've just had a lot on my mind lately, and I know I'm not the best at talking things out, and sometimes I just don't want to worry you. Life rambled on long enough, and he must have read that on her face. I have met someone, but it's not what you think. I'm just able to talk to her. I mean, not that I can't talk to you. I think it's just easy because I'm not as close to her as I am to you. I'm not as close to anyone as I am to you. You know, as a performer, people always have these misconceptions about me that I just pull people into me and make friends easily and that I'm really confident. I'm not. You know me. You know I'm not. I'm just telling you that because I don't want you to think that I'm just out there like that. I'm not. I just needed someone I could talk to like that, and that's all we have. Do you love her? Not like that. I mean, I love her who she is, but I don't think I'm in love with her. You don't think so, Life? Then who should I ask? Should I call her and ask her if you love her? Huh? It's not so much as love as what she represents in my life right now. Which is what? Just someone helping me to get to the next level, that's all. Someone I can talk to. And I know this isn't the easiest thing for you to hear, but I can't lie to you. None of this takes away from what I feel for you. I'm so confused. I mean, I just want you to know that this isn't about her. It's just, I'm not so overly careful about her feelings because she's not my woman. I mean, I feel free to just talk. I need to get back on whatever path I'm supposed to be on, Sandra. I know how soap opera crazy this sounds to you, but I was just walking around with all of this and it's too heavy now. I do love you. He leaned in to kiss her, but she backed away crying. You know, I love you too. But you know what? I love me more. And you're right. Whatever baggage you're walking around with is your baggage, not mine. And I don't deserve the way you've been treating me. I can't believe you. I was walking around feeling all guilty like I had done something or that I wasn't supportive enough. I thought you were stressing because of your family and the label. I mean, I feel like a fool now knowing that you've been cheating. I mean, I knew too. I knew. I just didn't want to see it. This isn't about sex. Look, there are many, many, many kinds of intimacy and many forms of cheating, Life. What we share is more than sex. There are certain areas of my life that I reserve for you. You. The fact that you felt that you had to sneak away and give what was ours to someone else meant that you knew you were cheating. It's not like that, baby. Stop. Please stop. If you're going to stop lying, if you're going to stop lying to me, then stop lying to yourself first. I know that this isn't just about her, but excuse me for harping on it, okay? It's the first time we've talked about her, however long it's been going on. You've had that long until now to deal with it. She paused and began to cry again. He took her hand for a moment. Then she pulled it away. At first, I thought it was some kind of phase you were going through, and I thought I would just hang in there to show you how good I could be for you. You think I don't know what your friends think about me? That I'm some gold digger only after you because of who you are? But you know what? They're right. I did see gold in you. Okay? And I was after that. But good in you, life, you. Nothing to do with what you have. I would love to see us work out. And who knows, maybe when you get life straightened out, we can do this. But there's no guarantee that I'll be here. Goodbye, life. She got up and walked out. She didn't know where she was going when she left. She just knew she had to get out of there in a hurry. Now she was feeling worse about not telling him. That was the perfect opportunity, and she blew it again. It was just too much to hear him say that he met someone he could talk to. That hurt. It would have been easier to hear that it didn't mean anything and that it was just sex. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have been easier. The next morning, she surprised life and herself and showed up at the port in Long Beach. She didn't really know what she was doing there. She was angry with him and angry with herself. She needed to be able to talk to him. She didn't want to talk, but she needed to be able to. And 8 days without being able to do that would have been bad for both of them. She showed up, bag in hand. Is that all you have? I'm here, okay? Where did you stay last night? She just looked at him. I was just worried, that's all. Look, I'm glad you're here. I know you're upset, and you have every right to be, but can we get through this without you punishing me the whole trip? This is still business for me, and it's hard enough as it is. I'm cool, Alfred. Let's just do this. Chapter 25. Before the cruise, Aubrey and Life went for a walk in Kenneth Hahn Park. You called me. Are we here for the exercise? Life asked sarcastically. We broke up. Figured that. What happened? Life asked. I was as honest with him as I could be about everything. Not just about us. Our problem started long before us. I told him I wasn't ready to get married. That even if I was, I don't think it would be to him. There's just no real trust with us. These days, everything I want from him, I'm getting from you. Everything? She ignored the question. With Ahmad, sometimes I feel just so second to everything and everyone. What did he say? He got angry. And in the end, he said that he never wants to see me again. He didn't mean it, Aubrey. That's just the anger talking. It sounds like you do still love him, though. I do. I don't think I realized how much until the other day, though. What happened? Willow and I had a fight. What? Everything okay? It will be. We haven't talked since then, and I feel strange about that. She was right, though. She said that I've been spending so much time focusing on what Ahmad was doing to me and playing the victim. The more I thought about how unfair I felt he was, the more he would do. She said I wanted to be able to say, look what he did to me, and not owning my part of the drama. Chapter 26. Ahmad was at the bank teller's window. The teller asked him to have a seat for a moment. Meanwhile, in the parking lot, Malik was talking to the security guard he knew. The teller made a phone call, and Ahmad looked at his watch. He saw a couple that seemed to be very much in love. They were in the bank line, hugging and kissing. The woman was pregnant, and the man held their son's hand. The young boy looked to be about Jules' age. Ahmad imagined that they were him and Aubrey, and that Aubrey was pregnant. Just outside, the police quietly raced down the street. Ahmad didn't see the guard coming toward him. When he did see the officers, Ahmad tried to leave unnoticed, but they grabbed him. He was escorted in handcuffs out of the bank. As the police put him in the back of the police car, he saw Malik drive off. "Hello?" Aubrey answered. "Where you at?" "Coming up Market Street, picking up some fabric. What's up?" Aubrey asked. "What's up is I'm your best friend and we need to talk. I'm in Ladera. Meet me at Solomon's in 20 minutes. "All right." Aubrey pulled into Solomon's and was surprised to see that Willow was already there. She pulled into the spot next to hers and went inside. "Hey, girl. Look, before you read me the riot act, I know I was tripping, and I'm sorry." "Aubrey, stop. Stop. You're not going to play me like you do Ahmad with the smoke and mirrors, okay? What are you talking about? And you're not going to manipulate this conversation with that confused routine that you've mastered. I'm done playing Aubrey's game of start a fight about one thing when something way more serious is going on that she doesn't want to talk about." Willow was getting too close, and Aubrey knew she couldn't hide much longer. "Oh, here's the salad and herbal tea I ordered for you. You want some diapers to go with that?" "Fuck you, Willow. You're the only one that's been getting some, obviously. Did you think you could fool me? I know. It's true, isn't it?" Aubrey just looked at her. "I knew it. The biggest part of me is so happy for you. And then there's that other part that wants to kick your ass for dealing with all this stress you're dealing with and not sharing the biggest news of your life with me. And now, for the $20 million question, whose is it?" Again, Aubrey just looked at her. "Okay, does he know?" "I'm going to tell him. Soon." They finished eating, got into their cars, and drove separate ways. Aubrey rolled her window down and blew the horn to get her attention. "You know I love you." "Of course you do." Willow put her shades on and blew a kiss and drove off. Damn diva. That night, after Jewel had gone to bed, Davis and Aubrey were in the den watching television. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Before today, I hadn't said anything to Willow either. I know it's crazy. The two people I'm closest to, I've been avoiding because I was scared. I was scared to tell you the truth. And I still am." "You know, I know I don't have to say it, but I will. Sis, you know I'm here for you." Before the television show resumed, there was an announcement from the news. The reporter said, "This afternoon, the police arrested a man by the name of Ahmad Jenkins for setting up a fictitious charity and allegedly receiving over $300,000. The name of the charity was the Marissa Cunningham Home for Autistic Children Foundation. He was arrested inside of this Bank of America in Los Angeles. Please stand by for more details." Chapter 28. Malik was at the radio station where he worked. Behind him were posters of him advertising his books, My Brother and Money, Power, Respect. While he was on the air, Aubrey walked in slowly and stared at him. She closed the door behind the studio entrance. Malik turned around in the recording booth and saw her. He motioned for her to hold on for a moment and turned around and leaned into the microphone. Suddenly, the door slammed, and the posters hanging behind him were on fire on the floor. Malik got off the microphone and hurried up to put the fires out. Aubrey went to visit Ahmad in jail. "I know it's too late, but I'm sorry for everything. Aubrey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I listened to Malik before you. This whole thing was his idea, and I was stupid enough to be a part of it. Everything was in my name because he supposedly had too many tax problems. Things stopped adding up a long time ago with Malik, but I just didn't want to believe that my boy would do that to me. Aubrey, I'm going to be in here for a long time. There's no one else I trust with the jewels. Please, Aubrey, please. Aubrey slowly slumped down in her seat as she put the phone down. Chapter 29. Life was driving along Mulholland Drive on a rainy day. He swerved, trying not to hit a cat in the middle of the street. The car flipped over 2 times and he passed out. He was carried by helicopter to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Sandra saw Aubrey get out of the elevator with flowers in her hand and walk toward her. Sandra noticed that she had really long locks. She knew that was her. Are you visiting Life? Yes. Are you Sandra? Are you who I think you are? Aubrey nodded her head. They sat down in a moment of silence. I want to hate you, but I don't, Sandra said. I want to hate myself and justify everything I've done, but I don't, and I'm not. I never set out to hurt you. This whole thing is just as confusing to me as it is to you. Sandra sarcastically responded, Really? Aubrey paused. I met Life at a time when I was in transition in a few areas of my life. That's what he said. What's your name? Aubrey. Aubrey, huh? Sandra repeated. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Life. But I'm not asking anything from him. I just want him to be happy. You know, Aubrey, I used to be one of those women who would fight for her man and get all up in women's faces and all of that. But I have graduated from all of that. I love and respect me. And now I know that I'm the prize. I will say this, though. There is a part of me that's jealous of you and wants to know what I did or didn't do to make him run to you. Sandra surprised herself at how calm she was being with her. She was also clear that this wasn't a fight. Aubrey, as another woman who was trying to make sense out of life and out of life. She was not going to let this turn into a bitter black woman brawl over a man. I know that it's difficult to understand, and I don't want to make it seem like our relationship was nothing, but what we had never took away from his love from you. Maybe not his love, Aubrey, but it took some trust away. His cheating, your cheating, cost me. It cost our relationship, and it cost my trust in him. And truthfully, if I were a weaker woman, it would have cost me my trust in other women. I'm not some naive little girl trying to live out some fantasy. I trust my intuition regarding your friendship with Life. And I know that it's only a matter of time before what the two of you have develops into something much greater. Then where am I? Sandra could feel herself getting angry, but was determined to keep her cool. She would not lose control. They sat there. Neither of them looked at each other. They sat on the hospital bench and looked straight ahead. There was silence for a moment. Then Aubrey said, What am I doing? Same as everybody. You're trying to make some sense of this life. What? Aubrey wasn't fully aware that she even asked the question out loud. Sandra turned her whole body to Aubrey. Aubrey didn't face her, though. Sandra said, Aubrey, I get it. Look at us. Look at me. Looking for more of a reason to hate you than because my man was with you. Look at you, so afraid to face me, to face yourself. I don't know you, and I won't pretend I know enough about you to judge you, but I won't be a part of a battle against another woman for a man. I won't do it. For what it's worth, I don't blame you. Not completely, anyway. Life is a grown man, and he is responsible for his actions. Would you please give these to Life? Aubrey still didn't look at Sandra, but handed her the flowers. Sandra didn't take them. Aubrey put the flowers down in the chair next to Sandra and got up from the seat and walked straight ahead to the elevator. She stopped before she got to the elevator, faced Sandra, and said, "I was hoping I would meet you here. I'm sorry, Sandra. I know what it's like to feel like something's going on behind your back. I complained about being the victim, and then I did it to you. I'm sorry." There was a moment of silence, and then she turned and got on the elevator. Sandra felt better after she talked to Aubrey, after meeting her, hearing her. She didn't want to be like Kennard's cousins and pretend she knew her or what her motives might have been. She was better than that. She knew that Life did love her, and she loved him. But she also knew that she couldn't play this like it was nothing. It was something. If she acted like this was no big deal, then she would be showing him how he could always treat her. She didn't sign up for that. A life of her always checking up on him, feeling insecure about who he was with. Was he in the hotel alone? Was he just friends with? Who was he just friends with now? Who was he just talking to now? No. No, she was going to be a big girl and face this head on. Still, in the back of her mind, she was finally facing Kennard's cousins, the big one with curly hair who would kick her ass if she thought about getting pregnant. Bring it on, baby. Sandra watched Aubrey as she got in the elevator. Then she picked up her bag and went to the stairs exit. Chapter 30. Life had some bandages on his face and lip. He pulled into Hannibal's driveway and saw Olivia and Saba sitting on the porch. Saba's hair had grown a bit and her eye patch was gone. He got out of the car and walked up to the porch. "Good evening, Miss Olivia. And you too, Saba." "Greetings, Life," Olivia said and smiled. "Hello, Life," Saba said. "Is Hannibal upstairs?" Olivia took his hand and kissed his palms. She sat him down next to her on the porch and spoke to him softly. "Son, Hannibal has gone on to be with his friends. Wait. Yes." Olivia took his hand and led him into the house. It looked so different. The women were gone. There were plants and flowers everywhere. "Ball? Gone?" "No, just not here," Olivia responded. Chapter 31. Aubrey sat there on the rocks at Zuma Beach with much on her mind. She had Jewel and now a baby on the way. When Mama Rosa said she would be a mother soon, she thought she was talking about Jewel. Since she and Ahmad had been together, Jewel spent more time at her place with her and Davis than she did with Ahmad. He usually worked nights. She loved being there and they loved having her, so they just changed the upstairs office into her room. She didn't know she missed Jewel and a new baby. She was sick all of the time. She guessed it was normal and this wasn't supposed to last the whole pregnancy, but it was hard for her. She didn't even know she could get pregnant. In fact, she was told that she couldn't by her doctor 4 years ago. After that, she and Ahmad took HIV and AIDS tests, and they both tested negative. They stopped using condoms. She should not have let it happen, but there was a night when she was with Life and things went too far. Truth is, she didn't know whose baby she was carrying. She hasn't spoken with Life since his accident. After meeting Sandra, she knew she didn't want to hurt her anymore or complicate Life's life. She knew that he should at least know that he may be the father to her child, but she was not ready for that. Willow told her that when Life got out of the hospital, he broke off with his label and was planning to move back home to Florida. She also said that he and Sandra split up. Aubrey wasn't sure how permanent that split would be. She could tell that he really loves her, and Aubrey knew that Sandra loved him. But who knows? Every woman decides when enough is enough. Sandra's pregnant. Aubrey and River are first cousins, and she told her. River had no idea of what was going on with her and Life, and Aubrey didn't know that she knew Sandra. Small world. Aubrey didn't want to even think about telling Ahmad. She was still angry with him for getting into such a stupid scheme with Malik. Of all the times to say, "I told you so." She didn't want to be as right about him as she was. She asked Mama Rosa whether or not she and Ahmad should get married, and she said he would be leaving her, and by that she didn't think she meant he would be going away for 10 years. 10 years. They took one look at him, a black man from South Central who had done a year for possession of drugs, and that was all they needed to know. They didn't care that the prior was when he was 18 and had given his aunt a ride to the store, and she stashed it under his seat. When he got pulled over a day later, the cops searched his car, and there it was. Mama Rosa's spiritual advice to Aubrey was to resolve her relationship with her father. She said that was why she pushed men away, especially good men like Ahmad. She was right about that. After a 7-year-old girl overhears her father try to get out of paying a gambling debt by offering his daughter, she doesn't feel worthy of any man's love. That he was drunk didn't make any difference. As far as her reconciling, that was something she would have to do by herself. After Mama found out, she kicked him out of the house and told him that if he ever came anywhere near them, she would have him killed. He left and moved down south somewhere. 2 years later, he was killed in a bar fight. Mama didn't have anything to do with that. It's all going to take time. Aubrey accepted things as they were, and her only plans now are to keep on moving on. She can hear her mother telling her to keep breathing, keep breathing. Things can't stay the same, Miss Olivia said. They can't. Life had to get back to Florida. His mother's stroke was all the answer he needed as to whether or not it was time for him to go. He had been on the fence about it too long. He told Beck and the label that he was out. They could sue him if they chose. He would just have to deal with it. Tommy was already on deck to produce his new stuff. His stuff. Life knew that he and Aubrey were in each other's lives for a reason. Maybe they'll learn the reason later. He loved her and wished her the best. And as for Sandra, she said she needed time. Life loved Sandra from the day he met her. He never loved a woman like he loved her and was sorry for hurting her. He asked her to marry him and come with him, but she needed time. She waited until the house was completely packed and the truck was loaded to tell him, "I'm pregnant, but I need you to go. I need time to think, and I can't with you here. I'll be down there before your birthday and we'll talk." At first he was angry with her for waiting so long to tell him, and that she didn't want him there was also hard for him to take. His birthday was less than 3 months away, and he would see her soon. There's no way he is not going to be a major part of his child's life. Sandra also told him that she found a spot to open the restaurant she had been talking about for years. The papers were already at the bank awaiting approval. He didn't know what the future held, but for now he was in Hannibal's Cadillac, leaving Hollywood. There Olivia was again, sitting with Saba on the front porch, ending a chapter together, beginning a new one. She didn't lose Hannibal. They will always be together. From the day they met, she knew. Her mother knew. He and Mob had changed a flat tire for her mother one Sunday as they were coming from church. His mother invited them over for dinner. Mob said that he had something to do, but Hannibal showed up. The end. Thank y'all for listening to the NIKEL. I hope that you liked it. I do. I hope you did. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.